So welcome, gentlemen, and really look forward to hearing about this today. Clearly, cybersecurity is something that is fast increasing, as something we need, and as a danger to all of us online. Anybody that has a portal into the internet is certainly at risk of that. So I look forward to learning along with our listeners. So before we get started, let's hear from each of these two gentlemen, and you can tell that they've been around the block and no doubt what they're doing, and probably have significant life and business experience that they can provide. So Ken, do you want to go first? Tell us what got you to this spot in life, if you would.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Ranger. Ken Rayner. I'm president and co-founder of Cyber Insurance Solutions, a company that my partner John Sheard and I started about 4 years ago. My background is in the insurance industry. I was the president of 2 insurance companies. I had my own MGA. I owned my own MGA. I was a broker, and I worked for the Canadian Insurance Association as a liaison between insurance companies and the public. I've used my background to try and come up with some solutions for brokers and basically the industry and commercial industries to help them combat the complex world of cyber and to provide products that will help them keep their business alive.
And my name is John Sheard. I'm the CEO and co-founder of our business. And my background is not insurance. My background really is in running businesses, building businesses. The industry I worked in actually was in healthcare. And in that business, I was a supplier to the property and casualty insurance industry and the life and health insurance industry, and got a good sense of how those industries work and what they need. I had an idea about cyber insurance. I knew that it would be a very important business area for insurance companies in the future. And to that end, I called Ken an expert in insurance, and that's how we began Cyber Insurance Solutions.
Well, very good. I look forward to hearing about this, and certainly one of the fastest emerging problems that's out there. And I have no doubt that you'll both have the information we need.
Thank you very much for inviting us to be here today.
Yes, our pleasure. Thank you.
So please, John and Ken, go ahead and tell us what we need to know.
Thanks, Ranger.
Why don't I just describe us, and then you take over about the business?
Sure.
Our business is Cyber Insurance Solutions, and although many people ask us if we sell insurance with our business, we don't. We focus on software that's used primarily by insurance brokers, and there are 4 or 5 different products that we offer that are really solutions to critical problems today for business owners. And I think that my partner Ken Rayner is certainly prepared and happy to discuss some of those software solutions with you.
All right.
Ken?
All right. Well, what do you have to tell us, Ken? You're the expert here.
Yeah, well, my background is insurance. That's why we kind of concentrated on the insurance industry. But all of our products are applicable to any industry, basically, and any commercial venture could use them. But we started out designing Sci-Fi was originally designed as an underwriting tool for insurance underwriters who were writing cyber. Cyber was relatively new, although it's been around for several years. The insurance industry didn't really grasp onto it right away, but now they see it as it's probably the #1 product that they market right now to the public. But there was no historical data on what the right rates should be. How do you properly underwrite it when you can't physically look at a risk, like a property risk? Are you getting a good risk, a bad risk? Do the person you're insuring, do they know what they're doing as far as cybersecurity goes? Or are they just trying to, hope for the best and hope they don't get hacked? So we designed Sci-Fi as a fairly reasonable tool. It's limited to 29 questions. It's fairly easy to navigate through. You might need an IT person to help with some of the questions, but most business owners could certainly answer the questions. We come up with a score that rates your cybersecurity preparedness, and you can react from there. If you're an insurance underwriter and you have a client with a high score, it's obviously a better risk. They know what they're doing. They've got maybe the right protocols in place for cybersecurity. So that sort of thing. And someone who comes out with a low score, of course, they might want to shy away from. But it morphed more from an underwriting tool into a risk management tool. But a lot of clients would use it just for their own security and for their own comfort level. Are we doing it right? Have we got the right protocols in place? The cyber crooks, that I'll call them, the hackers, are always trying to stay 1 or 2 or 3 steps ahead of cybersecurity. So even if you put a defense in today, it doesn't mean it's going to be effective a week from now, because they're always coming up with different new ways to get into your system and to corrupt your data. So we designed Sci-Fi as I said, it comes out with a rating for your cyber preparedness, and it comes out with recommendations on areas of weakness where we could recommend what areas need to be improved and how to improve those areas. So that's really how it developed for the insurance industry.
Ken, what does Sci-Fi stand for?
Cyber fitness.
Cyber Fitness Index. Yeah.
So it's a cyber fitness test.
And this is something that's done with a questionnaire online, something like that, that they fill in the blanks in terms of how their network is connected to the internet. Am I getting that approximately right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I would take 25 minutes to complete the assessment.
Great investment of time.
And the interesting feature about it, I think you could use it for benchmarking. So you could do it today and you could do it in another year, whatever a business wanted to do. And it is something I think that, and Ken would probably agree, that I think it's really important for directors of businesses. It's an important directors. I mean, they should have some understanding of risk management and IT and the risks that are associated with that world today.
So based on the answers that they would generate, it tells them, will it tell them where their weak spots are in their internet access? Is that?
Yeah, correct. It gives you your 3 top areas of weakness, where your lowest scores would be, and it tells you what you need to do to improve those scores.
Gives you an action plan or road mapping. It gives you a road map to improve the cyber health of your business.
Boy, that's just sounds like a wonderful thing. And so in terms of using the assessment tool, we can do that as a link online. Is there a charge for assessing your situation? How does that work?
No, I think as Phil just discussed a minute ago, it's free.
Okay.
And Phil thinks that it's a very important tool to introduce customers to the very basic need of having proper cyber exposure coverages in your insurance package. It's free.
Well, I think that's an area where it's just been a weakness people don't think about. And, maybe they want to put it under the rug and think all's well till it isn't. And we're also busy with our core business that it's sometimes difficult to do that. So the reason this is, I thought sensible to bring out to the World Sweeper audience is that, we are in an industry that's fairly low tech compared to many industries. And I thought it's something that whether you're a contractor or a municipality, an airport, whatever your situation is, it's something that you can find useful and that would make sense to do the assessment. So having a free assessment like this to me is a no-brainer, as something to do.
Yeah. We certainly agree with that.
Yeah.
No.
And part of that assessment will lead to, some other action items, which education and prevention can only help so much. And Cyber Insurance Solutions is also partnered up with some other technology vendors that can not only give them an action plan on how to mitigate risk, but even, potentially get some software solutions. And that's how I met John and Ken. Was they partnered up with a company called NeuShield, and NeuShield has got a pretty cool the term I use is it's a middleware. So it's a piece of software that sticks between your, using a computer and your core system, the stuff that hackers want to go after and that they can compromise and pretty much make your life miserable. And if you don't mind, John or Ken, if you could, speak lightly to like your knowledge of that solution and how it benefits the end user.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks. Yeah, NeuShield it's a paradigm shift as far as handling cyber attacks. It's taken a whole new slant on things. It's not a software that prevents cyber attacks. There are a lot of software out there that try to do that. What they've come up with is a solution that if you are hacked, if you are held for ransomware, you can get your data back literally in an instant. Just a click of a button will get you your data back. And I won't go into all the details of how it works, but it's safe to say that it works. And no matter what you do as far as preventing, a lot of people there's a lot of things that they have trouble with. One is that they don't think they'll ever get hacked, which is probably the biggest problem that people have. But it happens every day, all day. I think every 7 seconds in the US, a business is hacked. But they can't spend the money on the high-end software to prevent cyber attacks. And even if they could, it's not 100% foolproof. The Department of Defense was hacked and held for ransom. So I believe that their defense mechanism might be better than the average businessman. But what NeuShield has done is taken, like I said, a whole new approach to cyber attacks, and it basically eliminates having to pay ransomware. You'll get your data back. It's a mirror imaging, which saves your data, and the hacker thinks he's got your data, but he's only got a mirror image of it. And you just wipe that slate clean and your data is still intact. So it's an absolutely fantastic way to fight cyber attacks.
I mean, business owners should really imagine what would happen if suddenly, out of the blue, they can't operate their business. What would they do? What are the implications for them? They're down for 3 weeks. How much revenue do they lose? I mean, what do their customers think about the fact that they were hacked? NeuShield is this particular technology is something that everybody should have, and it's really quite inexpensive.
Yeah, it's very, very affordable. I think that we talked earlier about people who, couldn't foresee, getting hacked, or that they've got defense mechanisms in place that will allow them to recoup their information from backup servers, or there's a false impression that because my data is held in the cloud, I'll just get it back instantly. That's not the case. You will get your data back, but it'll take a lot of time. And can you afford to be out of business for 7 to 14 days while you try to recoup all your data back through backup servers or client information? Plus you have the reputational risk of people knowing you've been hacked. Where's my data? Who knows my bank account information now? So it's really something businesses can't afford to have happen. And NeuShield absolutely will get your data back for you without ever having to pay the ransomware or lose your current data.
People don't think with financial implications in terms of dollars.
No.
You talk a little bit about a couple of brokers that were hacked and how much it cost them.
Yeah, well, one broker, one had a ransomware demand of $14 million. He had an insurance policy that covered him for $5 million. So he couldn't pay the ransom, so he had to try to claw back all his data. He was down for I think he said 16 days, they couldn't do any transactions. And he said it was the worst nightmare he's ever gone through. Plus you feel violated. You feel like your business is hanging on by a thread. It's everything you've worked for is just gone up by some person who's in another part of the world hacking you and holding you for ransom. He immediately bought NeuShield after the fact. Unfortunately, it was after the fact, but he immediately bought it, and he feels a lot better about it now. But the message is, of course, buy it before you get hacked, and make sure that you don't have to go through that hell, I guess, that this fellow went through.
I think we had another broker that paid a ransomware demand, and I think it was $4 million.
Yeah, and they got hacked again. They paid their ransomware. And even if you pay the ransomware, it doesn't mean you're going to get your data back immediately. What they do is they take their time to send you a key, and that key will unlock the data. But again, you've got to try to recoup it from that key, which probably minimum is another 3 or 4 days. It's not the 2 weeks that if you didn't pay the ransomware, but if you'd paid it, you're still going to get downtime for your business. And plus, there's no guarantee. Once you're hacked, they'll go back at you again because they know you've paid the ransom, and you're an easy mark for them. So the best way, the best solution, of course, is to not have to pay it at all and not have your data exposed.
So most people think that it's only going to be, big organizations, big businesses that are going to be targets of these criminals, and it's just that's just not true. Where I live, I live in a very small community in Canada, and one of the local doctors was hacked. Cost him $40,000.
Yeah.
It's just a doctor's office, one doctor.
Well, to John's point, one of our clients is a small machine shop, I think, with 14 employees. They were hacked twice, and then they bought NeuShield. They were hacked again, and we got the data back immediately for them, so they didn't have to pay a third time. But 3 times a small business like that was hacked, just because they could. So prevention is one thing, detection is another thing, but recovery of your data is really the ultimate goal.
Well, let me weigh in here. I had a hard drive fail, and I was backed up in the cloud. So I was, I knew that I was perfectly fine. It took 5 days to download that encrypted data. Yeah. So for 5 days, I was completely out. And when you think, you think, well, my website was down for a few days. What's that going to hurt? Well, do you use QuickBooks Online? Do you use, any of the other myriad software, most of which are in the cloud these days? And, you're down and you're out. The other part that I think merits some attention is that you can pay the ransom, and that isn't a guarantee you're going to get your data back. They have it. They don't have to give it back. They just told you if you paid them big money that they would, but they're dealing with crooks here. So
yeah, absolutely, because I think it's if I remember my data correctly, 20% of all ransoms that are paid, they don't get their data back. Yeah. So and those who do, like I said, it still takes a long time to get it back, and you're out of money. And if you can buy insurance, saying that's a big if you can buy insurance now for ransomware, it's going to cost you like at least 300% more than it cost last year, and your limits are going to be very low. And it's an aggregate amount. So if you're hacked once and you use up your limit, if you're hacked again, you've got no insurance. It's not a continual policy that will pay out all year. It's paid once until that limit's gone, and then you're on your own. So insurance, not really the answer. The answer is to be able to get your data back without having to pay it.
That's perfectly sensible. And we'll have links to, and I'm intrigued about the NeuShield software product. It seems like it really makes sense to, if you have a software interface in between your internet connection and your office, that, a lot of people have some kind of a firewall, but that's not really what we're talking about here. It's something that fits in between and can actually get your data back in case you're hacked. And my understanding is that this is a software product that's quite affordable. Can you speak to that about? And we're doing this in early to mid 2022. So what kind of pricing is out there today? And of course, everything may go up in the long run. But what are we looking for or at as a solution with the software today?
Yeah, our pricing is based on the number of servers and the number of end users. So it's $100 US per server and $50 US per user. So if you had an office of 20 people with one server, you're looking at $600 a year. So it's like a minimal expense. It's very very affordable. Am I math right? No, 20 people by
Close enough.
that was 1,000, right? So $1,100 a year. Sorry, I was giving them the Ranger discount already, but but no, it's like I said, it's an office, an operation of 20 or less people. You're looking at less than $1,000 a year.
It's funny, we were talking to, Ken was talking to a potential customer, turned into a customer last week. And it was the decision was so obvious and so simple that the customer just said, I don't want to know anything about how it works. I'll just take it.
Just install it. So
just install it.
We'll certainly include links that get you all the information. But the key element here is go assess your risk. That's the important part here. What you do after that is what you do. But like that old adage of the law benefits those who know the law, this is a corollary where you will be benefited greatly if you understand your risk. And so I really encourage everybody who's looking at this, just click on the link, go assess what your risk is, and then you'll have the information that you need to decide whatever you want to do.
Yeah. Ranger, what percentage of your membership do you think is really schooled in risk management and cybersecurity, that has some training?
Well,
Is
the municipal group now,
Yeah.
I'm doing this as World Sweeper rather than World Sweeping Association. I'm the director of the World Sweeping Association, but I feel that this is something that all of us in the industry probably have not really given a lot of thought to, which is to say the municipal segment, the airport segment, the contractor segment, certainly. And I mean, there are folks out there that rely on the internet, and there's only 2 or 3 people that are in the business that access the computer network. And so for those people especially, I mean, they're not thinking about it. They don't have the least capability in terms of IT management or data protection. And we pay insurance on a variety of things, and this is the fastest growing, I bet, emergent risk that is out there. And just because it doesn't involve running into a pedestrian or getting in an accident someplace with one of your vehicles, it's really an emergent problem. And we were talking earlier, I don't know if that was on this, but where it's billions of dollars a year right now that's happening, and it's forecast to be in the trillions by 2025. So that money is coming from someplace. Don't let it be you.
I think, and I think Ken would probably agree, that I think anybody that's in management position in a business should have some training in risk management and IT and cybersecurity. And to that end, we have that available. We have a relationship with a company in Israel that does this, that sells that kind of training. It's an online training product. It's excellent. It's used by the CII in the UK, which is a chartered insurance institute, and along with various insurance organizations in Canada where we are. And it's a blend of risk management training and IT training. Everybody in this century should have some understanding how these important business decisions are made.
Yeah, they sure should, John. But the problem is that my sweeper broke last night. People ask me, what do sweepers do? I say they break. They're in a very difficult situation. And so there's so many things that to keep your operation going that people put that off, till tomorrow, and tomorrow never comes. So I hope that there will be people. I hope we can have a link to that. And that could be something else that is an option out there, and a way to probably easily learn what kind of IT things you can do to strengthen your firewall between you and the world of hackers that are out there. Right now, as we tape this, the Ukraine is being devastated by Russia, but at the same time, it's widely reported that the United States is being cyber hacked at a rate that's really widespread. So the risk is higher right now than it's maybe ever been. And that's not, once those guys come in, they're not going to be inclined to leave if they're making money here. So
yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, because that was one of the retaliatory options that Putin had. Any country that is helping the Ukraine, they're going to attack through cyber attacks.
yeah.
So yeah, definitely going to go up, and no business is too small for them to hit. Trust me.
No, it's wherever you get in, and you see what what can we get out of it, and
they get in one place and lead to another, right? So
yeah,
into your supply chain or into your other contacts. So yeah, everyone needs to be vigilant about stopping it or getting your data back before they can do any harm.
Yeah, agreed.